Beyond appearance.
Every Sunday at exactly 6 a.m., she arrives at the church premises dressed in faded jeans, an old t-shirt, and simple slippers. Quietly and diligently, she cleans the chapel, arranges the seats, and ensures everything is in order. For 6 years, she has never missed a single Sunday. Titled Beyond Appearance. On this particular morning, a young man stepped into the chapel while she was still working. He took a seat, watching her as she moved about with quiet dedication. Though her clothes were worn, she carried herself with a grace that intrigued him. He assumed she was an unfortunate woman, someone who had likely missed out on an education and now struggled to make ends meet, perhaps selling oranges or working as a petty trader. As he observed her, he felt a conviction growing in his heart. He had been compelled to arrive early at church that day without knowing why, but now he believed he understood. God had sent him to help this woman. Moved by this realization, he walked back to his car, retrieved some money, and waited for her to finish. As she prepared to leave, he approached her, commending her devotion and pressing the money into her hands. She respectfully declined, but he insisted. Wanting to offer further assistance, he asked if she lived nearby or if he could drop her off so she wouldn't be late. She thanked him and mentioned her car was close, but he barely registered her words. His mind was set on helping her, determined to change her circumstances. As they walked toward the parking lot, he eagerly shared about his work, explaining how God had led him to church early that day and how he believed his purpose was to make a difference in her life. So engrossed was he in his own mission that he failed to notice where they were headed until they stopped beside a sleek vehicle parked under a tree. Compared to this car, his 1-year-old Benz looked almost shabby. The woman opened the driver's door, stepped in, and handed him her business card. Smiling, she said, "I believe God sent you here for a purpose, but perhaps it wasn't to change my level. Maybe it was to change yours." He was speechless, stunned into silence as she drove away. In that moment, he understood the lesson God had brought him there to learn: humility. And from that day forward, 2 people always cleaned the chapel whenever others failed to show up. Too often, we think highly of ourselves, assuming we are sent to teach when we are meant to learn. Though we are made in the image of God, sometimes the smallest moments, like ants in the grand scheme of life, become our greatest professors, if only we are humble enough to receive the lesson. Thanks for watching.